everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 142. I'm your host, Casey, and with me we have Slicer.
Hey.
Zero.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
And Kenchua.
Hi, I'm Kenchi618, the man so great that no one on this podcast shit talks me when I'm not on.
No one at all.
Yeah.
Ever.
Totally didn't happen earlier.
Because they totally know better.
I love Kenchi. He's my favorite.
Really? Kenchi's everyone's favorite.
Yeah, Talon is working, so he couldn't be on this week, and Guy, I honestly don't know. I thought he would be back for this one, but I guess not. I knew
He's
he was
probably
out.
blowing something up.
Could be. Yeah, I knew he was out last week, but I thought he'd be back for this one. Oh, we'll find out, probably.
He might just be jet lagged still. I don't know.
Could be. Who knows? So, the fuck we been doing? Zero, go.
Really, this week has been kind of... Not much has happened. My grandpa just went through this massive surgery where they just pulled like 14 teeth. His dentures are nice. But they didn't give him enough pain meds and he didn't speak up. So, yeah. He told me that if he was in the enemy camp, he would have given them the information they wanted.
Okay.
Aside from that, like, not much has been happening. I was training the new guy at work, and he seems ready to take over and start working alone. I bought some duct tape because I was going to fix the little armrest cushions on my chair. And my
Holy
dad
shit.
got mad.
What
and he
we're
was like,
doing
"No,
has become the
you're
most
not gonna-"
interesting topic in the entirety of existence. Zero. Tell me about
Yeah.
the duct tape. What kind of brand was it? Was it
It
like
was-
double-sided?
It says duct tape on it. That's all I know. There's a duck on it, and he looks kind of cute. And then my dad got mad at me and was like, "No, just find the screws and fix your chair normally." And I'm like, "Oh,
Wait, there's a duck on it?
yes, there's a duck on the duck on the there's a logo.
Oh
It
my
says
god,
duct
it's a duck pun! About duct tape! Oh, that is the most amazing thing ever, Zero. That's great. That's so fucking awesome. What the fuck
I
are you
had
doing?
nothing going on this week. Come on, give me a break. Really, like, it was like one of the most boring weeks because I was just relaxing and working and relaxing and working on and off again. And just counting the days until school starts again, which is going to be in a couple of weeks.
Fucking ducks, man.
You know, one of these days something interesting will happen again. I usually have a good story to tell, but yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I was gonna bring back the fucking true facts jokes, but I feel like it's overplayed at this point. We've used those too many times, especially about ducks.
I mean, there was a new Pokemon they announced, or there was like a bunch. They keep announcing new Pokemon and stuff. Oh, the newest one is Turtonator.
Wait, I just need to check something real quick. Has it happened yet? Yup. Okay.
What?
Would it be alright if we were to just like postpone this episode for like 5-10 minutes? Like just sort of cut it here for a second? Because I just noticed something.
Okay.
The new episode of Pokemon's out, which is the second half of the finals of the Kalos League, and I'm curious as to whether he wins, because that's been the rumor.
He's not going to be this. Is this the second episode of the battle? Because it's not going to end the second episode.
But I'm going to check, that's why I want to cut now. So.
Well, whatever.
It's worth looking.
And we're back. Yeah, he loses. Spoilers.
Yeah. Is it really spoilers, though? I mean,
Not really, no. I mean,
he can't win, otherwise the series would be over.
That was
Zero said something interesting about that just now that I agree with.
Like, if he wins, then you could have him be the champion, then introduce the next main character for the next new region, have them make their own friends, and then they become a champion. Maybe they can fight Ash or whatever you want. And you do it like that. You do it like JoJo style. You have different parts, you have different main characters.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But, yeah. There was an old quote, I think from a couple of years ago, one of the anime writers or something, saying, yeah, he will never win. Ever. Basically. And people were, believing that maybe that was a red herring in this case because Ash was kind of stomping face until this last battle. But, oh well.
Ash is the worst choke artist in history.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just can't finish the job. No matter what.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucking gun shy from the Charizard thing in the first fucking Pokemon League. Damn you, Richie. You son bitch.
Yeah.
Funny thing, last fight in the fucking battle was against the Charizard. Mega Charizard X, I want to say, is the black and grey one with the blue fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's X. Y is the dragon one.
Yeah, it was fucking Mega Greninja again. That thing's still cool, even though it's literally like Naruto. Like, literally. It even has the fucking Rasen Shuriken thing.
Bluruto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, I'm kind of disappointed by that. It would have been cool. Like,
Yeah.
they could have switched to a new character, new protagonist or something, or they could have, I don't know, had him be the experienced veteran finding all this cool shit in Alola for the next region, because everything's slightly different from what he's used to. That could have been interesting. I don't know. Again, there's cool stuff they could do with that show, but they just refuse to. So
I'm just gonna. There was a new Pokemon shown. Look at that guy. Turtonator. It's Fire and Dragon.
Did you just say Turdonator?
Turtonator. I linked it for you guys.
Like Terminator? I hate this thing.
Yeah, it looks stupid. It has a stupid name because it looks stupid.
It's Dragon and Fire, though. Isn't that what everyone...
Because, like, if it looked cool, then Turtonator might have been a cool name. But because it doesn't, it's just stupid all over.
It makes me think of, like, a Power Rangers villain or something.
It does. It's Megazord time.
Yeah. So, on top of that, I remembered Pokemon Uranium, that fan game.
Yeah, that
took
was a
like
thing.
9 years to make. That's been taken down officially, but you can still find it.
Yep.
I played
Someone
that.
actually learned the fucking lesson. You make the game, you release it, and then you tell people that it exists, so that they can take
And
it
then
down.
you
But
take-
it's
and then
already
you-
on the internet, so it's already out there forever. You can't do anything about it.
Then you take it down afterwards, so Nintendo can't sue you. And yeah, I played it. Might want to have the channel take a look at it at some point. Because get this, because this game does have a lot of significant improvements in a way. For example, there's a Nuzlocke mode with options you can toggle.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So when something dies, it actually says dead as their status, and they can't be revived. There's lots of cool little changes that they've done. I was having some frame rate issues, though. I'm not sure if that was just me or the game. It shouldn't be me, because my computer's pretty good, but the designs aren't that bad. Some are really good, some are eh. And the game actually does one thing that I've really appreciated, and it answers a question that I've always had, which is, where does your mom sleep? And the answer is there's another bedroom. Finally.
Fair play.
So, Pokemon Uranium, if you're a fan of Pokemon, you might want to just check that out. Just, just take a look at it and all what the fans would make.
Yeah. And the thing about that game is most of my usual complaints are entirely invalid. You can, in fact, catch them all in the one game because that's the one game.
Yeah. It's it's pretty well optimized in terms of a lot of changes people would like. Naturally, there are some minor complaints I have, but go check it out if you're interested. And that's it for my week.
Okay. Slicer?
Nothing. Almost nothing. I've just been relaxing. I found out yesterday that instead of next week being free, I actually have classes starting next week.
Oh.
So
Great.
that's a thing.
So that's literally everything?
Yeah.
Okay, Slicer, regale us with Tales of Adventure Capitalist.
I have it open all the time, and I occasionally click a button. I just click the button, and then there you go. It's closed again.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
This was our relax week. I think that's pretty much clear at this point.
A little bit, yeah.
Kenchi, you got anything?
Yeah, actually. So, see, about an hour before we got on, I put out another chapter of Extraordinary Times, and I have another one that's ready to go out. It's to put some stuff, do some stuff to it. So yeah, there's that. And I got a message earlier this week, from some dude on fanfiction.net. He apparently made fan art for less than $0.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
One already existed, which is this one that someone made a few months ago. And that's the first one that there was. That's the older one.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, honestly,
It's
with the
not
concept
bad.
you had to go off of. With the concept
actually
that
pretty
you had to
good.
go off of. But this one is just...
Looks kind of like
so
an
much
off-brand
better.
Garrett, to be honest with you.
This one is so much better.
Oh,
Oh, that one's pretty cool, actually.
that
And-
looks
Yeah.
that looks like a character that would actually. That looks like it's Young Justice's style.
Yeah.
So that's actually really interesting.
So I appreciate that. Let me find his name real quick, because he apparently commissioned it himself. So props be to him for that. He didn't have to do that. And
OC
Just one-
Imaginator, looks like his name was.
That was the deviant artist.
that was the artist
Yeah,
who
the
did
guy.
it.
Oh,
The guy who did
commissioned
it. The guy who did it, his name was, on fanfiction.net, his name was King of Monsters, is his name. Or the guy that commissioned it. So,
That's a pretty good name.
better than yours, apparently. At least king of something.
You know what? I made my name up after several different other tries on Xbox Live, and then I stuck with it for everything. That's what happened.
Was it originally XX, King of Zero XX?
No.
Only shortened it down
I will,
afterwards?
I will tell you that I was an edgier kid, and the word nightmare was used at one point.
420 just blaze.
I
oh,
didn't even live in California at the time.
it
I
doesn't
wasn't
matter. People use 420 for everything, even for names that made no sense to have 420 attached to it.
They didn't use 420 back then as much.
When was
like
it?
A long time. Well, it was like 2006, 2007.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I didn't know. I was young and innocent. I didn't even know what 420 was.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
I lived a very sheltered childhood.
No
I
kidding.
didn't know what the word gay meant until like 6th or 7th grade.
What?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
very
just happy.
sheltered childhood.
It's understandable. It's an old-fashioned word. People don't really use it that much anymore. So
Yeah.
it means happy though. Just to clarify.
Yeah, I learned.
Okay. All right. Whatever. You're depressing me now.
That's my job.
In addition to that stuff, I bought One Piece Burning Blood on PlayStation
You
Network.
shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but I did.
So, how are you enjoying that riveting gameplay?
I mean, it feels like an Ultimate Ninja game, just a lot slower and complicated. Well, not complicated, it's just...
Exploitable.
Yeah. And I've barely gotten to play it, so I'm gonna keep trying it and see how I feel about it more.
Are you playing the multiplayer or the single player?
Single player, fuck multiplayer. I'm not playing. That's a game. That's not the game you go online and play. You don't play multiplayer for that shit.
I hope you enjoy doing the same 6 Marineford fights over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, I noticed.
And over and over.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was wondering how many of those there were gonna be.
All of them.
After I finish.
That's literally the game.
Fuck.
Yeah, there is that from, I think it's Luffy's, Whitebeard's, Ace's,
Whitebeard's.
and Akinu's. I think there might be one other, but I forget. Jinbei, I think, is one. Yeah, and all of it is at Marineford, except for the one fight where you're playing as Ace fighting Blackbeard on Banaro Island. That's it.
Isn't it great to make an entire game focused around one arc?
It's actually kind of baffling because it's all focused around that one arc, and it makes it seem like, oh, they only had this many maps to use, so that's why they only did this one arc. But no, they have, like, if you play the multiplayer or free play mode, then it has other maps from other places in the story. It just doesn't use them in the one player mode.
They could have made it better just by including Impel Down.
Just for, like, a breath of fresh air kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so it's not like ice, 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 ice. Hey, here's more ice.
Damn.
That's what it is, Marineford.
Sorry, Kenshi.
Son of a bitch.
How long ago did you buy that game?
Like a week? Less than a week?
You might be able to return it. I don't know.
It was bought on PlayStation Network, as I said.
Oh, okay. Well then.
Well, like, even if he'd bought it and if he opened the package, then he can't return it anymore. That's the way it works now. So.
Yeah.
That's sad.
In addition to that, let's get on to something more happier, maybe. I also bought the game I Am Setsuna on
Okay, that's the one that's
PlayStation Network.
like Chrono Trigger in gameplay, but not in actual story or interesting characters and stuff, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to give it a shot.
I've heard good things about that.
It's a throwback. I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah. I was thinking about maybe getting that at some point. What did you get it on?
PSN. Like I said.
I'm sorry.
Not for this
I'm
one,
just
you
looking. No, you didn't. You just said I Am Setsuna.
You said you got One Piece on PS4. That was all you said. So.
All right. So you having fun with it so far?
No.
No?
Still trying to figure out how stuff works. Like, they explain stuff, but I read it. I made sure to read it, but I didn't pay enough attention. So I'm probably going to have to start a new game to look at how to do special stuff. Because I was not paying it, because I read it all, but I forgot it, and I couldn't go back and read it again. So...
how's the soundtrack?
Controls or
nope.
Mm.
So yeah, gonna take a screen cap of that and save it so I don't have to do that again. Because I am all about solving them problems, boy.
Yeah. Is that
Try
everything?
using the Google. Like, just Google what you don't know.
Huh, that's a better idea. I should do that because Google is also a thing that exists.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm pretty sure if it's a problem you're having, other people might have had it already.
Yeah, because I'm way smarter than other people. If I'm having trouble with something, I mean, come on.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. I feel better now. Thank you, Zero.
No problem.
All right, I'm done. I don't think I have anything else, really.
Okay, I guess it's my turn now.
Damn straight.
What did I do this week? Earlier today, I had an interview for a job which I couldn't take because it was not a job for me. I don't know whether you have them in your country, but like brand ambassador kind of things.
Brand ambassador.
Yeah, where basically you are in a shop or in the street in front of the shop, shilling for a particular brand. In this case, it was... I don't think I should actually say who it was, but it was a company that makes electronics.
Sort of. We have that a little bit.
So basically...
Are you the sign spinning dude?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
No.
You're the guy who spins the sign.
Not the sign spinning dude, just the guy that would walk up to people, whether in a shop or in the street in front of the shop, I like to say, and just say, "Hey, have you heard about this cool thing from such and such a company?" And
You're
you
basically
should,
a vocal version of the sign spinning guy.
basically, yeah, the guy that's really annoying and bothers people while they're just trying to shop. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that great? That's the job you do if you hate people.
Yeah.
I'm actually really
Want to bother
surprised you
people.
guys have that. I thought you guys were less invasive with your advertisement and stuff.
We started
shopping.
doing Black Friday because you guys do it. We're literally copying you culture-wise now. It's not good.
No.
It works
Yeah,
out pretty
America.
well. Trample to death. It's great, Black Friday.
Yeah, we know. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Also, another reason I'm pretty sure I didn't want that job in particular was because I would have been working in or around an electronics shop on Black Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Hey, did you guys hear about the... Oh, no! You just get trampled.
Yeah, basically, is what would happen. And I wouldn't see it coming, which is worse. Aside from that, I think we talked about it briefly on the Dark Souls Let's Play. Oh, speaking of the Dark Souls Let's Play, I was kind of down about fucking doing videos for a couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was just like from like caffeine and sugar crash from the previous day, but yeah, I had looked at the view counts for the Dark Souls Let's Play and I was like, 10 people, huh? Yeah, so feeling, it's easy to say that, yeah, we just do it for fun and all that stuff and it's great, and then, but the thing is, I pretty much, not quite all, but most of the videos go up because I upload them, and I get all the emails from people like commenting, and when that happens, I get to see how many views does this video have yet. Oh yeah, like 6 views. When we have 400 and something subscribers. Yep, that's great. It's a little bit of a, kind of sort of crushes your enthusiasm a little bit sometimes. But
Disheartening,
Ripping
yes, I suppose.
gameplay.
see, that's the thing. I think the Dark Souls one is probably one of the better ones we've done, specifically because I know the game so well I can actually just focus on talking more than playing it. So I can actually participate in conversations rather than suddenly going quiet because I need to focus. And yeah, I think a lot of the reason people don't really give a shit and don't care to watch it is because it's an old game that people know about and have seen Let's Plays of before. Which is a little disappointing that that's the reason they're not watching it, and not because it's shit.
I think you need to add more thumbnails. Yeah.
I think thumbnails don't do as much as you think they do.
I think they're great for bringing in new people because it looks better.
If you say so. If you want to do that, you can fucking do that, but I'm not going to fucking bother. I mean, I think Slicer used to do them for Dark Souls 2 back in the day and then stopped because it's a pain in the ass.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a thing, but I got over it eventually, and we did more recording. So we actually have episodes again. We were kind of running low as of this Friday. That's the last episode going up that we have edited, so I've got to get those done and out again. You know, like I say, it's still one that I think is good and better than some of the others, like Dark Souls 3, that was kind of a train wreck. But, you know, because it was a new game, it got more views, so, you know, whatever. Aside from that, what I was going to talk about, we did briefly talk about it on the Dark Souls Let's Play, but I watched the video from Team 4-Star Gaming, the Harem Protagonist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that looks special.
Yeah, it's just the demo for that the Kickstarter released.
Yeah, about that
And,
Kickstarter, I backed it.
Yeah, me too.
That
It's really fun.
it looks funny. How much it's actually in on the joke of how dumb it is, I don't quite know. It feels like it's on the same kind of level as the Sakura something games. I forget.
It has 6 days to go and has $34,000 compared to its like $8,700 goal.
Yeah, it was at 30 when I backed it last night, so that's kind of jumped a little bit. But they tend to in the last few days.
They just reached the goal where you can now play as a male or female.
They reached that $4,000 ago.
Yeah.
They're only 1,000 away from it. Really rooting for
Princess.
Yeah, another character. So, yeah, that looks like a dumb game. It looks kind of in the vein of Honey Pop, in kind of parody, but also kind of okay as a game. So, which is also not like Honeycomb Studio, which is a train wreck of... Anyway. Apparently people liked that game. I don't understand why at all.
Because Squick?
It was fun in its own kind of stupid way for at least a little while.
Okay, if you say so.
Because everyone wants to be a pimp, but no one wants to put in the work on them streets.
Okay.
Well, I've known a few actually, but you know, whatever.
I don't know whether he's being serious.
I don't either.
No, I'm actually serious. It was an interesting revelation because I didn't expect someone like that to manage a few prostitutes.
Okay. This has suddenly become a much more interesting story. So, Slicer, obviously without giving the game away in too many details, care to elaborate?
On wait, what game? What?
On the your pimp friend. Apparently you have a pimp friend.
Yeah.
We would like to know more about this, please.
No, she took in a few girls over a period of a few years that needed, you know, support. And so that was their way of paying rent. And she would just make sure they were safe, basically.
Oh. She was a madam. All right.
That's okay. That's a lot better than I thought it was going to be perfectly honest.
That's what a pimp is.
There's a lot worse directions you can go with. I knew a pimp.
Yeah,
So-
but generally that's the base definition of what a pimp is. What Slicer just described. Everything else has just been
Yeah.
romanticized.
Oh,
I don't think the
still
things I'm
off.
thinking of count as being romanticized. I think it goes in a rather other direction, like an opposite direction, one might say. You were going to say something, Zero?
I just remembered that very, very cringeworthy game has come onto Steam. That's not a surprise, but it's called Conception 2: Children of the Seven Stars.
Oh God.
Do I want to know?
Combine your star power to make magical star children to boost up your forces in battle. It's a dating sim too.
You can get your soul. It's a. I don't know what kind of game. I think a Muso art turn-based RTS maybe. I don't know.
It's a JRPG.
Yeah. So you can have your soldiers fuck, and then you can use their children in battle because they age up because reasons.
Oh, so it's Massive Chalice.
But it's. You guys want to take a look at that?
No. Maybe a little bit.
It's on sale.
Kind of.
I mean, I'm morbidly curious.
That's exactly the way to put it, thank you, Kenshi. Yes, morbidly curious is the right way to think of it. It sounds a lot like Massive Chalice, which was... I didn't like it that much, but, you know.
All right.
Okay.
I'll buy it. We'll look at it.
Yeah, so we talked about the fucking Harem Protagonist thing. Spoiler warning has introduced me to a new and interesting game. Game, by which I don't mean like video game, but like fun thing to do because it's dumb and hilarious. So, they were playing Fallout 4 and they came up, I think it was Roots Gone, came up with the idea of, wouldn't it be great if the super mutants gave one-liners, but they were like, because they're big and dumb and don't really understand anything, like words, they're just sort of taught these one-liners to say in battle, but they don't quite get it, so they get it slightly wrong.
Okay, I like this concept.
So, like, for example, do you like apples, human? I have apples! For example. You are the disease and I have medicine for it! Yeah, so I came up with a few... The comment section on the video is literally filled with them and it's fantastic. So I'm just gonna link that.
I was hoping you would.
Yeah. So,
That's...
Are you lucky? I forgot how many bullets I shot.
Everywhere is enemy? You call that a knife? I am the knife.
It is much shadier thanks to these arrows. Tonight we will eat food somewhere else.
I am judge, reporter, and witnesses.
I love this so much. It's just the best game. So,
This is not madness because it is
I
Sparta.
eat breakfast for punks like you.
oh,
I am not locked in here with you.
this is my rifle. This is my penis. This is for fighting. This is for sex.
I fight mud crabs and are more afraid of...
You will take this arrow in your knee.
Oh, yeah. My name is James Bond Bond.
No, this cannot me. I am invisible.
I like the smell of victory in the napalm. It smells like morning.
This is the best thing. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon!
I am the Vengeance, the Knight, and Batman.
You are with me, or you are by yourself.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
some pretty good stuff then.
There's some pretty good stuff. I contributed some of my own. You might have noticed my name in the in the comments there. This is my boom boom, for example. Yeah. So that's a fun game to play. Just come up with some one-liners and then get them hilariously wrong. Good stuff. So people should do that in the comments. Come up with some fun stuff. Make us laugh. I think that's pretty much my week.
Yay, I had sex with your mother.
Yeah, it's a fun game. That's my week. So I guess we should move on to Random. So we watched Free this week, and it has a bit of a reputation. In fairness, it has that reputation because of fan-created works, doujinshi, that kind of thing. It also has that reputation. It's gay. It's so very gay.
I mean, I wanted it to be like, maybe I'm going this with the wrong idea. Maybe it's just, bros being bros, and
they're just, mostly, uncovered because it's fucking swimming.
Yeah, they're just dudes being dudes, and sometimes it gets construed the wrong way, and everyone can turn yaoi into anything, and people can make yaoi out of anything. So maybe I'm just being negative, and no,
it's gay.
The guy walks into his house, helps the one dude out of his bath, and is surprised he's wearing swim trunks, meaning he was expecting him to be naked.
Yeah, it's so very gay. It's gayer than a double rainbow.
And the main character then proceeds to wear an apron while shirtless.
Or nothing but his swim trunks. That's all he's wearing.
Yeah.
And the apron.
Remember the time the guy went skinny dipping?
Yeah.
With the other guys in the pool?
He went skinny dipping in the pool and then dragged another guy fully clothed into the pool with him. Yep. Yeah, so...
Was anyone else just groan when they first heard the characters talk? Like in the very beginning of the first episode?
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be their real voices for the entire show, and that was really confusing. God, are they women or children? And
also, if you want more, all the guys have girl names in this. Isn't that crazy?
In fairness, it would be a little strange in this country to hear a guy say his name's Rebecca, but,
But all of the guys have girl names.
Yeah, they do.
It's like, isn't it crazy that all those guys have girl names, but don't you have a boy name? One girl says to another. I'm just like...
Let's break standard gendered identity roles. Yay, I guess. I think that's.
But in
point.
the context of everything else, though, you have a very different type of story. So
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the actual plot, because we could talk about how gay it is for probably the rest of the episode. To be perfectly honest, let's not understate this. This show is pretty fucking gay. We're not saying that derogatively. It's just, that's what the show is.
Yeah. Like, hey, if you like that, I'm not going to fault you for it, but it's pretty gay.
Yeah. So, the plot of the show is there's 4 dudes. Two of them are regular dudes, basically. One of them is a very competitive guy that swims competitively and loves doing so. And the final guy is like, just freaking loves water, loves to be in water, swims pretty much so that he can be in water all the time, doesn't really care about competition.
Which is probably why the show is called Free.
Because he swims freestyle, is the thing. Yeah.
Water, so good.
Yeah, so competitive guy says, hey, we should all compete in this thing in a relay and win a thing, because that'd be cool, because he's the competitive guy and he wants to win things. And they eventually convince the freestyle swimming guy, and they win. Yay! Then freestyle swimming guy becomes a moron because his grandma tells him something. I think specifically it's a Japanese idiom that at 10 they'll call you a prodigy, at 15 a genius, and then at 20 you're just an ordinary dude. He takes that to mean don't even fucking try because no one will care by the time you're 20. In reality, that's pretty much just saying you have to fucking work hard as well, you moron. But he didn't take it that way. So he's like all morose because he's 17 and he's just spending all his time sitting in a bathtub because he likes water, doesn't care about anything else, just wants to be in water all the time.
Man, what a weirdo.
Yeah, kind of. And he only has one friend who lets himself into this dude's house. I don't think is actually okay for most Japanese culture, but they're apparently that close. Again, it's
you know
kind
who
of gay.
does that? All the childhood friends and regular animes, all the girls that run into your house to wake you up.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, so they go to school, and it turns out other regular dude is now a student at their school because he was younger than them, so he's now joined their school. And they don't have a swimming place to go swimming anymore, and that sucks. Wah.
Their old elementary school they used to race in is going to get shut down, so let's go say hi to it and swim in it one last time.
And they go there, and while in the process of being there to check out the pool, competitive guy shows back up. His name's Rin, so I'm just going to keep calling him Rin from now on.
Rin was in Australia at a swimming school.
Because
in Australia.
That's apparently a thing. In
Australia it probably is, I guess. I don't know. They don't have much else going on. They got a lot of water and a lot of death in the middle of the country, so...
They don't have a lot of water. That's on the coast, I suppose.
Around
that's
what I mean. Because everybody lives on the coast. Nobody lives in the middle of Australia. It's full of death.
That's true. Yeah, so he's back, and he's all pissy because they're not swimming anymore and they suck. And basically immediately challenges freestyle guy, whose name I don't remember,
Haru,
to a race.
I think.
It's Haru. His name is Haru now. And then Rin, which you could totally be talking about anime girls with this, but yeah, it's to go to race. And, hey, there's no water.
Yeah. Before you jump into the pools, morons, the pool is empty because it's closed. Figures. I kind of wished they just let it go on for another couple of seconds so they would dive in head first. It would have been hilarious.
Yeah, me too.
And they could have played it off as anime physics. Ow! My head. And not my brains have exploded onto the fucking...
They jump in, next thing you know, they're in the hospital, and like, wow, that was dumb. Let's catch up a little bit.
Yeah, but instead, they're like, basically.
Really love the dubstep that comes on whenever the Rin guy shows up.
Yeah, I thought the show was like, it predated dubstep, to be honest with you. Is what I thought, but apparently it's newer than I thought it was.
No, it's fairly new, all things considered. It's only like a couple years old.
Oh, well, fair enough then. Yeah, so next day at school, they're talking, shit, it sucks that we don't have a pool. Hey, Rin's going to that, fancy school in other place. We should go there and use their pool. Break in. Apparently, they really fucking care about swimming. So they do that, and they go swimming, and there's skinny dipping involved because one of them doesn't have a suit. It's pretty fucking gay.
So instead of jumping in his underwear, skinny dipping.
Yeah, so they swim for a bit, and then they get caught by Rin.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing in my freaking pool?
Yeah.
At my freaking school.
After hours. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for the first episode.
You'd think they'd just go to a public pool or something.
Are those a thing in Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how common they'd be, but yes, they would be a thing. Yeah, so that's pretty much the show. It feels a lot like any other sports show, kind of, except, like, where in the other shows, like Prince of Tennis or Kuroko's Basketball, you have, they don't push the homoerotic overtones in those shows. In this one, it's like full force. Like, they showed off like test footage or something for it, and immediately girls were creating yaoi comics for it. So they just took that concept and ran with it, basically, is what happened.
No, it sells the figures, I guess, and that is the entire point.
Yep.
I mean it's a business model.
Sorry?
It's a business model.
It is, yeah. So that was a thing that we watched. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I did actually find the characters kind of charming.
They were, yeah, honestly.
And the homoerotic overtones don't really bother me at all. It's just kind of there. That's fine. It doesn't do anything for me, but it's not going to turn me away either.
I mean,
it's not we can watch the next episode.
mean, it is what we thought it was.
Yeah. That went exactly as expected.
Pretty much. Well,
Like,
okay. It went as I expected, but I didn't expect it to be okay as an actual show.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like, I've never been a big fan of sports anime of any type, really, so I'm just kind of, it's not really my thing.
I mean, I watched sports anime. I watched Hajime no Ippo, Prince of Tennis, Kuroko Basketball, Ace of Diamond. I watched those. I enjoy them for what they are, so that's fine. I just don't think there's enough in swimming for, to actually hold my attention. Like, Prince of Tennis or Hajime no Ippo or whatever, you can, ride they have interesting techniques and stuff to use in fights or games or whatever, and they have strategies that they can implement. It's just swimming down a track in free. I don't know where you could hang on that.
It's about the dude ship.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's
yeah.
pretty much it.
It had to do, yeah.
Oh well.
Because there's really only one ideal way to swim. I mean, eventually you're going to find the perfect technique, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, if you want a show about anime dudes with swimmers' bodies being mostly naked most of the time, it's a fucking show for you. It's got decent characters, and yeah, it's fine.
They love to just tear their shirts off.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Really not much more to it than that. It's a pretty simple show.
Okay.
As simple.
I am wavering on one thing.
In fact,
I am probably going to buy this Conception 2, but if anybody wants to play it with me, because I want to be able to play it with somebody, that's why I'm going to buy it. So, Conception 2, yes or no?
let me look into it first,
Alright.
rather than just jumping in the middle of a podcast when I can't actually check right now. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
We need new anime.
I was actually going to compare Free to DxD, but no, that's actually it doesn't compare favorably in that. Because like I say, DxD hangs itself on other things like the fights and techniques and stuff, and actually a well-developed setting and things like that. It has a lot more facets to it than tits. So,
Despite initial impressions.
Impressions, yes. So
the tits are there for funsies, really.
Pretty much.
And for
laughs when you hear them with the sloshing sounds. For why? I still don't understand that, but
it's more like comedy with those than anything else.
It's
over the top.
Just comedy, which is fine. It is in itself a comedy show. And I guess in that sense, Free is kind of similar, a little bit, because it is still played for laughs, even when they're doing the gay, sexy stuff.
Kenshi, you get a roll at 1 to 26?
Alright, 9.
9 is... What the fuck is 9? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I would just be able to know it off the top of my head, but the fucking number at the front is throwing me. H. Bear with me, so that's gonna be... There's a lot of these. Holy shit.
I swear if it starts with the word hentai.
There are a lot more High School DxD stuff here than I thought.
Yeah, speaking of High School DxD.
Okay, I'm going to have to count this, so bear with me. Vamp?
Yeah, I thought it was funny that we got H when we just got through talking about that. So
we could get High to Gensono Grimgar. Grimgar is better as a novel.
I actually tried to watch that. I just kind of lost interest. It wasn't.
It doesn't work as well as an anime because it's a lot of more like the characters and everything, so their internal thoughts are more heavily the focus. It works better as the novel, in my opinion, just because of the way the story is told.
There is literally one called hentai.
Wow.
Yeah, I told you. There's always something called hentai.
136. Oh god, there's another.
Honda-kun, please. I want Honda-kun. That's a funny one.
I mean, I have no choice, or I have no control over this.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Or Hatsake Matsuma. That's always good.
I don't know what any of these things you're talking about are.
Hatsake Matsuma is the devil is a part-timer.
Oh, I've actually wanted to see that one for a long time, so...
If you knew what the fuck it was in English, why didn't you just say it in English?
Because he's a douche. 216.
216?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Magic RNG brings up... Okay, according to RNGesus, 177. Count, bitch.
That's a pain in the ass. Okay.
Don't blame me, blame RNGesus. He told you to count.
Minus 1, 7, 39. Okay, I can do that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hunter x Hunter, maybe?
No.
I mean, we've all seen this.
What, Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah.
Sort of. I tried the first episode, so I guess that counts. I tried half the first episode. It didn't click at all.
I feel like you need to give that show more of a chance.
I am fairly certain the English translation for this show would be Fist of the North Star.
Oh.
What is it then?
Hokuto no Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then we're going old school.
Yep. Technically, it went to Hokuto no Ken, the second one. I forget what it was. Bear with me, I've lost the goddamn thing. Here we go. Hokuto no Ken, Rao Gaiden Ten no Hao, whatever that means. I think it's a film.
Are we doing the dub or we're doing the sub?
Whichever you feel comfortable with.
This is episodes. So,
this is the North Star. I actually never watched this show.
Neither have I.
I need to.
let me see how long this thing is.
I mean, it's 152 episodes.
Yeah. The first season, I think, is only like 36.
I had no idea it had that many episodes, actually. Like,
Fucking 80s style.
Yeah. Going into the Wayback Machine again.
I have no problems with that because it's not as way back as fucking Yatterman.
Yatta, man!
I'm not saying it like that.
Yatta,
That was pretty good, though.
Yatta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've had a few good ones come out from Random A. I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah.
even call Free a bad one. That was still okay. It was an enjoyable watch for the one episode.
And we had the one thing where the piece of bread committed suicide. That was great.
Which one was that one?
The weird one that you
one
were
with-
like...
Oh,
Fine
yeah, the one
Berries.
that I stopped watching because it creeped me the fuck out. Yeah.
I love that one.
yeah.
Apparently that was still the right call because it didn't get better.
No, it got weirder, which I
Yeah.
enjoy.
Exactly. So, yeah, I made the right call in not watching more.
Yeah, you and Zero and Guy were loving that show for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
So Fist of the North Star it is. Tally ho.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot to mention something that I did this week.
Yeah?
Was the fucking Face Every Shadow thing that I did 2 more chapters
Yeah,
for.
you
Yeah.
put up some chapters.
I did, and got to... I'm trying to think of a metaphor for it, but I can't really. But, shake off all the old Sam Jazz stuff and actually do my own story at this
Is
point.
that chapter 9 where that happens?
10, I want to say?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have chapter 9 open. I haven't started reading it yet.
Yeah. Chapter 10, the first scene is entirely original because it's from Golden, and it ends where you might recall Sam Jazz actually wrote a scene for me where he added this whole thing that I didn't really want to do, but he was insistent that it needed to be there for the sequel. So he did it and put in like 3 whole plot lines that I had to follow up on. So by writing that one scene, he basically directed more of the story than I did. So
basically, screw him, you're free. Just like that anime we just watched.
a little bit. I mean, like, I talked about it in the author's notes at the end of the chapter, saying he wanted it done this way, and he tends to marry himself to ideas regardless of whether they're any good or not. I say does, I mean did. He doesn't really write anymore, that I've seen. But, yeah, he tends to do that, so I just kind of... all that's gone. I'm not doing it. None of it. It's all gone. So, it's all my story again. Yay! And it's actually got to the point where I can't use the plot as it was in the original anymore. Like, I'm already having to chop and change from different chapters to get all the content where it was. So,
Were there any elements of Sam Jazz's original ideas that you were able to take, or was it just all had to be thrown out?
well, if it's going to stay a sequel of his story, which it still technically is, then I still have to use some bits and pieces, like the villain having more of an awareness of everything that's going on and things like that. That's actually going to be fun to implement now that I'm thinking about it more. There was actually a plot hole in the original version that I didn't think about at the time, but because I've seen it now, I can do cool stuff with it, is the point. So
Well, that's good.
yeah, I am actually enjoying writing that story again, which is such a relief. I was so worried because everyone knows everyone hates doing rewrites. Everyone.
Yep.
So I was terrified that I was just going to get like halfway through the rewrite and be like, fuck this, and just stop again. Because I would feel like a fucking heel doing that after 2 years, saying, oh, I'm coming back and I'm doing more, and then just stop halfway through. Yeah, I didn't want to do that.
That would be pretty shitty, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad I'm actually enjoying doing it so I can keep doing it, which is great. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to add to that. So, randomly being done, what we're doing being done, because it's technically not what we're doing, it's what we've done, and it's done. So, we're moving on to first topic.
Quick, before we do that, quick.
Okay.
Did you guys read, or who all played Harem Protagonist?
I didn't play it, I watched
did not.
TFS.
I watched TFS play it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Did you guys pick up on the main girl, quotation marks here? Did you pick up on her personality type the first time through?
Yandere, right?
Yes.
That's the ginger one with the moderate tits, right?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. That's all we have to go on for character at this point, more or less.
Pretty much, yeah. But did you guys pick up on the fact that she was a yandere?
Yeah.
I
Yandere
didn't, but I only watched like an hour of the video, so I missed the end of it. So
She just kept appearing all the time. Maybe creeped out.
Also, there's, I think it's the Harem Reporter event where she has a very blank look when she's asking about your tastes. So
okay.
I'm just really impressed. Like, the shine in her eyes goes out, so her eyes are flat. That kind of... Yeah, it's a very crazy girl expression, or crazy character.
So they're actually putting that kind of detail. That's actually kind of impressive that they're going that deep with it. That's kind of cool.
That's why I'm super pissed that they just revealed her character type in the character bio on their Patreon page, or Kickstarter, or whatever. It's like, they wrote it so well, so subtle, and yet they just go out and say it.
They kind of did reveal it, which is a shame, because on first blush you'd think she's just, not quite, childhood friend kind of thing, but it feels that sort of way as the character type, unless you see the little hints.
Yeah, that shit is intentional. She's trying to convey that.
Yeah.
I assume every single clingy girl is a yandere. That's just...
That's fair. I mean, you're pretty genre savvy, so...
Because I've seen enough yandere stuff to know where this stuff goes. I've played Yandere Simulator.
In fairness, in Yandere Simulator, you
that's
can turn into sands and pick people up with your gravity powers and slam them into walls. I don't think that's an accurate representation of...
Yes, it is. Picking up people with your gravity power and slamming into the walls is totally accurate.
I'm straight up donating to this game.
Yeah.
Which, Yandere Simulator or Harem Protagonist?
Harem Protagonist.
Fair play. I mean,
Gosh,
like I say, both me and Slicer have, so...
What was that one game, or that one anime with the girl with the pink hair and the horns, and then she could pick people up and throw them against walls?
I was going to say Mirai Nikki, but that's not...
That's not it.
Pink hair and horns.
Yeah.
That is not ringing a bell. I don't think I've seen it.
But yeah, there was a girl in there who could pick people up and throw them against walls. She had like invisible arms. It was crazy.
Oh, Elfin Lead.
Yeah, Elfin Lead. Yeah, there. See? Girls can totally do that.
Didn't see that one because people have spoiled what I assume is somewhere near the end where there's bits of... I'm going to be polite for whatever reason and go with lolicon overtones.
I watched it a long time ago.
Very, very young girls that were very, very underdressed and things like that. And
The only time I remember girls being undressed for long periods of time, it was to then experiment on them painfully. So it wasn't anything sexual, unless you're weird into that.
Fair enough. In that case, that says more about the people talking about it than it does about the show. Yeah, I need to stop visiting 313 in general, but that's... Anyway, so we're moving on to the topic?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. So, topic this time for this one For how long have we been going?
I
No, we got plenty of time.
recording.
Plenty of time. Topic for this one is creator's pet. So this is the character that the creator has created, and they like them a lot. Or they not necessarily like them, but they are put very far forward in terms of plot and appearances. Like, they will constantly be around, even when they don't really need to be. Yeah, the creator tends to be fond of them enough that they just kind of there whether they need to be or not. And sometimes kind of get in the way of the characters that are more important. Yeah. This is not a popular trope.
I'm reminded of there's this story on the D&D Reddit, like green text thing, where the DM had his favorite little waifu character he'd put into every campaign with the same name, same looks, everything. And then one day one of the characters killed that character, and the guy got so upset he just left.
Wow.
Oh, that's so sad, but oh.
How hilariously sad.
And I don't think the guy talked to him for like a month or something. Or several months. But
It's really
yeah.
sad. I feel sorry for that DM on so many levels.
Yeah. Sometimes people have their favorite characters that they just like to put into something just because they like them a lot.
Yeah.
I've never, I don't think, had a character like this that I've written. So it would more be based off what we've seen in...
Yeah. I don't have one of these either. I can call out one specifically for fanfiction. There's a... I think he focuses on writing Harry Potter stuff, but for whatever reason, in just about every single one of his stories, he will insert Supergirl.
Oh, the Mega Mat?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
That guy, he really likes Supergirl. Like, holy
Really
shit.
does. Yup. Like, apropos of literally nothing, he will just have her show up in scenes for no adequately explained reason and just kind of be there. It's a little
Like,
weird.
Even when she's not the pairing, it's just... Yeah.
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 That's kind of an extreme example, though, of a character that... Yeah, it's a little creepy, dude. Just a little creepy. You know, if that works for him and people enjoy reading that, then more power to them, I guess. I wouldn't, but, you know, that's me. And I'm not reading his story, so my opinion doesn't matter over much in that sense. Well,
Trying
No.
to think of any other authors that do specifically that. They just keep adding characters or a specific character of the female gender to their stories.
I can't think of that many that do that, like bring them in even when they really don't fit, but just bring them in anyway. I don't think there's that many that go that far.
Yeah. Not habitually anyway, but like, I know a lot of Naruhina shippers, they add Hinata into other stories, Naruto stories specifically, so it's not super crazy, but she plays a bigger role than it feels like she needs to.
Yeah, she tends to be the creator's pet for a lot of Naruto writers, for obvious reasons.
I just want to mention Rolly from DBZ.
No.
God.
My OC. Yeah, if you don't know anything about this.
Is he the creator's pet of, what's his name?
Not necessarily Akira Toriyama, but
Oh, no.
No, but the guy who created him, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he's the guy who's been always constantly pushing for Broly. You know, hey, give him a Super Saiyan 3 transformation. Hey, Battle of the Gods needs to have Broly because Beerus makes Broly look like a pushover. How dare you? Broly is the best and strongest one.
Again, I feel so sorry for this person in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Just for a little while in Sonic X, that character known as Chris.
Oh, Christ. I mean, oh, Christ.
Yeah, he eventually got to the point of going more in the background, but that wasn't for a long time.
Yeah, I watched more of Sonic X than I'd like to admit, but I think the entire first season was basically focused on Chris and his family.
Yeah, I don't like Chris.
No one likes Chris.
I wanted a show about Sonic, not just a show about Chris and his pet Sonic.
Well, we got one eventually, and then they went to space for some reason, and Tails tries to fuck a plant. It was weird.
Every anime always goes to space, or it should.
Well, does every anime have like foxes trying to fuck plant life? Is that a thing that happens as well?
More common than you think.
Well, Zero's not wrong.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
I think the only reason I really hate Chris was I didn't hate him until he started taking the roles other players had. In in the show, they did the events of the Sonic Adventure 2 battle game, and he took a bunch of things that Tails did, or rather, he did them instead. It was it irked me.
Yeah.
Tails was cool in that game, actually. Got the giant robot thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I don't think this technically counts, and I kind of hate to bring it up again because I don't want to rant about it because I ranted about it enough, but Felicity Smoke from Arrow. Like I say, it probably doesn't technically count because they weren't going to do much with her until the fans decided she was the best thing ever and needed to be in it constantly. Yeah.
It's your fault.
It kind of is because I did like her at the time. She was a fun character until she cried in every episode. I'm just looking through the list at the moment, so.
It may as well. I mean,
yeah, at this point. Fairly Odd Parents has a lot of these. Because the way Fairly Odd Parents goes when they run out of ideas is they add a new character.
Depressingly accurate, yeah.
So you had Poof, who a lot of people didn't like, but Poof was at least tolerable. Then you added Sparky the dog. Then you added that random Mary Sue girl whose name I can't even remember.
They still make that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's bad. You make a show past when it's supposed to end and it turns bad every time.
I've just realized how much like regular TV I don't watch by looking at the live action TV section for this trope. It's all these shows I have never heard of, or I've heard the name but just don't give a shit enough to watch. So instead I'm going to go with the anime section because that's...
We would be more familiar with that, or could, make a comparison basically.
Yeah, well, creators' pets tend to just not be good because they tend to be obtrusive more than anything else.
Yeah.
And that's really where the fault comes from, is when you start to really favor one character over all the others, you're harming the development of the other characters.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if they're in scenes that they don't need to be in, and it's constantly focusing on them as opposed to the things that are actually happening in the plot, then it's wasting the audience's time, and it's wasting the plot that is happening.
Yeah.
There's a section for professional wrestling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
That happens all the time in professional wrestling.
Oh.
Got any examples?
Off the top of my head, it's usually what's the easiest one I can think of? Nothing you'd actually understand. Nothing I doubt
Triple
anyone
H?
would actually understand. Huh?
Triple H?
I mean, kinda. If I explained why, no one would understand it, so it'd just be a waste of time. Dead air.
I might understand. I watched a very extensive video of like someone trying to say how great wrestling is by explaining the entire history of Triple H.
That's a bad example.
No, it was
Why
a pretty
would you
good
watch
example that because it was done in a funny way and it was literally acted out on screen by gender swaps. So there was a girl version of Triple H, there was a girl version of John Cena, which was kind of hilarious.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, I wish I knew where to find that fucking video because it was so great. But yeah, I actually know the history of Triple H now.
Okay. All right. Well, the easiest and probably most relevant example I can give you is John Cena himself. Because John Cena, at first, he got popular on his own with people, but when the promoters and his bosses realized what they had, they started shoving him down their throats, and they started stripping away parts of his character that made him interesting. Like back in 2003, what got him popular in the first place was every time he'd come out, he would like do some quote unquote freestyle on his opponents, and they were usually pretty good. It was usually pretty hilarious. And his matches weren't bad. He had pretty decent matches. But basically right around the time they started realizing what they had and pushing him further, putting the title on him and everything, they started making him seem invincible at the expense of other guys that people liked. Yeah. And not just like people under him on the card, but like established veterans that had been there that deserved, title opportunities, things like that. Got to the point where he started getting booed, which is still happening, but it's more ironic booing now than actual booing. People don't hate him so much anymore. But it was really bad, like from a stretch of 2005 to I want to say 2012. So like 7 years of this. And I'm gonna try and Google something real quick as an example. Like the worst it ever was for him was like at a pay-per-view, where he was supposed to be defending the title against Rob Van Dam. People who know this, at a pay-per-view called One Night Stand, and just the entrance that John Cena made that night was great. It was fantastic. There was one point where he tried to one of his good guy things was he would take off his shirt and throw it into the crowd. They threw it back. And he kept trying to throw it into the crowd, and they kept throwing it back at him.
That's pretty good.
It was the best.
I don't know how many people don't like him and how many people just want to keep the joke going.
It's more just to keep... honestly, I think it's more to keep the joke going at this point, because I don't hate him so much anymore. I don't hate him at all, actually. There are people I'd rather see in high positions, but he's kind of out of the way now. Like, he still has a high spot on most shows, but it's not anything that's like at the expense of anyone else that you would particularly enjoy over him. so
Okay.
it's not a big deal, and that's mostly because he's kind of old. He's kind of getting old now. He's up there, so they got to start moving new guys into what would be quote unquote his spot.
Mm.
While he's moving down, he's still in traction, still a draw. I think he sells the most merchandise still out of anyone else in the company.
Memes will
I
do
wouldn't-
that.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to find this damn video. I can't find it. It's pissing me off. It's hilarious. Although, hold on. There is something I can give you because you singing that music just made me think of something. Have you guys ever seen the John Cena prank calls?
I have not. That
No.
sounds good.
It's the best thing ever.
Please. I need to see this.
I need to make sure this is the right video first, but
I can't watch it because I'm capturing, unfortunately. So
damn. Okay, well, I'm
I
gonna
will
link
watch
anyway.
it, and I will laugh it in the background.
I'll link it, but so you can watch it later or link
Yeah,
it later
I will
if you
do
so
that.
feel. It's fantastic.
okay, so have we got anything else to say about creators' pets? They're a thing. You can absolutely, like, for people that are writing, you can absolutely have a character that you favor. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Just don't be too forceful with shoving it down people's throats, like we say, because people won't appreciate that character as much as you do, generally speaking. Like,
No.
if they do appreciate that character and they want more of that character,
That's a whole different story.
even so, there's a limit. But yeah, like I say, fucking Felicity, Jesus fucking Christ. But
Like, if
yeah,
your pet is everybody else's favorite, you can include them more, but don't compromise with the characters.
don't let them take over the show
Yeah.
unless they're the protagonist.
In which
Like,
case,
if the creator's pet is the protagonist and everyone loves them, then you have a fucking perfect recipe, is what you have.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, next topic? Have we got time for another topic?
We should. I mean,
What time is it? Is it 37 or 57? I can't see my clock because my,
It's 37.
yeah, my microphone's in the way, so I can't actually look at it. Yeah, we got plenty of time for another topic. So, next topic is lowest moment in gaming. So, what's the worst thing you've done based on any criteria of worst?
oh god. So I'm bad at platforming, like pretty bad.
Okay.
And I decided that it would be fun to play Prince of Persia.
Which Prince of Persia? To be
The
clear?
first one.
Like the original, the fucking 2D one?
No. The first one of the first 3D ones. I think.
Oh,
the
the
first
Sands
3D
of Time, I assume then. Yeah.
And yeah, I was very young at the time, and I had gained even less experience in the field of platform than I have now. And I cried. I was crying. I couldn't beat that game. I just could not.
It's not the easiest game for platforming, to be perfectly fair. It's not. It's kind of rough, and you have to be quick about platforming, which is... It's never great. Like, the timed levels or challenges for, like, Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that, I hated. Because they were so annoying, you had to be so perfect with them.
That's the point.
It is, but it doesn't make it less of a pain in the arse.
You know, when I hear this topic of lowest moment in gaming, I try to think through all the bad decisions and stuff I've experienced in gaming, from when the first thing I did in Fallout 3 was to blow up Megaton, but I didn't feel any remorse for that. I was just kind of like, oh wow, that's a nice explosion. Or in Star Ocean 4, when I destroyed the Earth and killed 7 billion people, I didn't feel bad for that either, because I didn't. There was an alternate universe Earth. It's not my Earth.
They probably deserved it anyway. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Actually, if I have to say so, Final Fantasy 13, I know some people like it. I don't know why, but I got to chapter 11 where the world finally opens up in that game, and I just got so upset with that game. Like, I actually felt like I just wasted all my time playing this. I should have been doing something else. Because it just wasn't fun at all. And I stopped playing that game, and I never played it ever again. And that was my first that was like one of my first experiences in Final Fantasy, which almost killed me on the entire franchise. Because it was like at the point where I'm like, now you're going to give me an open world after having it be linear for all this time. And, you know, the gameplay wasn't particularly fun or anything. It was okay. It wasn't that good. So I just kind of stopped. And now I have the opinion that either you're going to do the entire thing open world, or you just don't give me an open world at all, and I probably would have still kept playing it. But it just upset me so much.
You didn't want to explore the forced linearity. Didn't.
I would have rather had forced linearity than give me an open world at chapter 11 into the game. But like tens of at least 10, 15 hours in. It just made me really upset. And I was like, I don't want to freaking explore this. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I think instilling a sense of apathy is probably the worst thing a game could do.
Yeah, pretty much.
So.
All right, then. I've got one.
Okay.
Actually, I got a few, but I'm just going to go with this one because it's easily the most embarrassed I ever was about anything. Okay, so Grand Theft Auto 4 was for PlayStation 3. It was a great game for me. I loved that game. I loved the specific. I love specifically the multiplayer of that game, and not even any of the game types, just the free play mode, where you could have yourself and your friends in a room, and then you had all of Liberty City at your disposal.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So when we created a few game types of our own in this room, and one of them was basically tag, which is like one person was it, and everybody else had to try and kill this person, and whoever did it was then it. And the one who was it couldn't fight back.
Okay, so I was going to say that sounds like Juggernaut, but...
Yeah, they could just run. That was all they could do. I mean, they could run you over if you were in the street or something, and they could drop grenades. That was all they could do to defend themselves. So one day, I was playing, and I was chasing one person who was it, and for some reason, he stopped his car, but we were so far away from him that it would have taken at least a few minutes for us to get to him. But I did get to him fairly quickly because I found the helicopter. And I thought it would be funny, because he was out of the room, to stand in front of his car pointing a rocket launcher at him so that when he got back, he would know just how screwed he was. And then I would blow him up.
Did he run you
As
over?
you do, yes.
This son of a bitch.
Did he run you over?
No, shut up. Let me tell a story. He was walking back into his room and saw this was happening on the screen and snuck back over to the controller so that no one could hear him on his headset. And he turned the wheels to his car before anything else. And it was nighttime in Grand Theft Auto 4 at this point, so I couldn't see that he had turned his wheels before anything else. And then just peels off and leaves. And I noticed, holy shit, is he driving? And I fire and miss, and he gets away.
Oh.
He didn't even kill me. He just left.
Humiliation.
Damn it, that was terrible. That game was great, though.
I have another one. My kill to death ratio in Soul Calibur 5 online is really bad. My just in terms of losses versus wins. And the reason why is because the first time like when I was just starting out the game, I decided I'd play online, and I got matched up with this guy who was like top rank, and I played against him, and I lost 50 times in a row.
Wow.
Mm.
And then I just never wanted to do online ever again after that.
That was your fault.
I was stubborn. I did not want to lose. I was getting better.
Not that good. Never that good.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a similar experience. Like, for a very brief window, I think the PS2 had an online thing that you could put on PS2 and it would be able to do multiplayer.
Yeah, I had that.
I remember
It was
that.
awesome.
Yeah. I had that and played SSX3. I got my shit stomped in. Yeah. Kept playing against the same dude because there was like 3 people in the lobby. And he would beat my times by like 30 seconds every time. Yeah. Don't have that many good experiences with multiplayer, to be perfectly honest. Because I kind of suck, but you know, that's how it goes.
Well, we
Other
did
low
good in
moments.
Rocket League together as a team.
Yeah, well, okay. I still suck at that, but you know.
I learned that flying was a thing later on.
It is,
after,
but it's
after the
fucking
recording.
stupid hard.
Yeah, it is.
Other low moment would be trying to fuck a cat girl that was 1 year old. That was pretty low.
You know, you weren't the one having to experience that. Oh, 1 year old in cat years, meaning she's like a few weeks old in human time. We did the math and everything. It was awful. We felt so bad about it the entire time.
That was an interesting game in many ways.
You shouldn't be ashamed about that. You should be ashamed about all the times you failed when you really shouldn't have failed in that
Yeah,
game.
actually, Zero, you really should be talking about all your incredible failures at playing Bejeweled. Like, really,
I'm not
it was
ashamed at all.
it was spectacular. Like, not in a good way. It was a spectacular failure that was embarrassing for everyone to watch, is what
I
it
wasn't
was.
embarrassed.
You should have been.
And then you try to blame one on me in particular because I was
You know
talking
what?
to you when you failed.
That's because you were talking to me and I failed. I got distracted.
I was talking to you and you forgot to use like items and stuff, and you just flat out ran out of turns, and then you blamed it on me. I'm like,
Well, yeah, that's because I still think it's your fault.
Hang on, I need to concentrate real hard on this incredibly easy clone of Bejeweled.
Shut up. I never played Bejeweled. I'm distracted by bright colors.
Christ.
yeah,
Um,
another lowest moment. This has nothing to do with game. This has nothing to do with gameplay, but it's another Grand Theft Auto thing. So this was back in 2002, and I was like 10 years. 2002, 2003. I was like 10 years old playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City. It was a great game. Sometimes my parents would pop in because they enjoyed the music that was playing because it was from the 80s. And one particular time they popped in, I was either in the strip club that I had bought, or I had a hooker in the car and doing stuff. And they're like, "Why's that car rocking?" And then the prostitute got out. And they were like, "What kind of game did I buy you?"
See, my parents wouldn't let me play rated R games or rated M games or whatever for a long time. They were very protective of me. Again,
Good.
So.
It's how the rating system's supposed to work.
Supposed to.
It's nice to know that someone is actually using it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I have a pretty embarrassing moment in gaming.
Oh God.
I remember you just said I remember how I said I was very protected.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yes.
played. I believe it was just one of the Metroid Prime games when I was younger. I rented it, and the whole beginning, everything was happening. Aliens were attacking me. It was a shooter. I'd never played a shooter before, and I just freaked out. And then I died, and I stopped playing. I was crying. I'm like, I'm never playing. I'm too young. I'm too young. No, take it back.
Really?
Uh,
You make me
Aw.
you make me sad all the time. Like I can't believe you are a person that exists in 20 whatever year it was.
Oh.
in fairness, Metroid Prime, that was like 1990 something. Zero would have been like 7.
I don't care. I don't care. I was playing Resident Evil and shit when I was like 7 years old.
I watched my dad play Resident Evil, and I'd run out of the room whenever a scary part happened.
To be fair, aside from the running out of the room part, my mom beat Resident Evil 1 while I watched.
Fucking Dino Crisis. I love that game. In the first 5 minutes of the game, some dude's ripped in half and you see his gore and everything. It's in PlayStation 1 pixels, but damn it, it was there. It was good graphics for the time.
Yeah.
She played that one too, actually. She really enjoyed Dino Crisis.
Yeah,
I've been
the
trying to
woman-
find a copy of it, but
Oh, I still have it. It's fucking
Yeah.
great. Love that game.
The woman getting picked up by the pterodactyl and carried as she struggles, trying to get away, and it drops her in a rotating fan. That was pretty much the only thing I saw of Dino Crisis, and I was like, I'm good. Thanks.
Any other low moments you guys have?
I had a few moments in Persona 3 where it's like, okay, you need to stop playing for a little while. I would play every hour of the day I was conscious, and so I'd fall asleep playing it, and I always woke up to the Reaper in a battle with the Reaper, and he's like, hey, what's up? It's me again.
Yeah.
You've been playing a bit too long, haven't you?
Yeah. Those that don't know, if you're in a dungeon for too long, then the Reaper will show up and chase you through the halls.
Yeah, it's
get-
level 99, and it has attacks of every element.
Effectively, if it catches you, you will probably lose, unless you're specifically geared up to fight it. So,
Yeah. Even then, you probably lose. I mean, you need to be like level 99 and have some good equipment.
yeah, the Reaper is not the hard fight in that game. Elizabeth is the hard fight in that game. You need a fucking guide to fight Elizabeth.
All the invisible rules you can't see, or if you do this, she'll instant kill you. If you do that, she'll instant kill you.
If you do too much damage to her, she will fully heal herself and then instant kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good Atlas experience right there.
I think we have different definitions of good, but I mean, sure.
Alright. That
God,
it
that
for
fight
everyone?
was stupid. I mean, it gave you a genuine reason to use the fucking super move Armageddon that does all of the damage. Like, you actually needed to do that much damage, almost specifically.
She has
to kill her.
20,000 HP, and Armageddon does 9,999.
So you need to get her to above 9,000, I think, is the number. And if you go below 9,000, she will heal herself and then instant kill you. So you have to get her between 9,999 and 9,000, and then use the super move Armageddon. It's kind of insane as far as boss fights go. It is probably one of the most intricate ever designed.
Well, then there's Margaret's fight.
Which is a joke by comparison.
Yeah. So,
I should play more Persona. I really should finish that fucking playthrough that I've got still sitting on my goddamn Vita machine thingy.
the
Still on!
Fire breathing Vita machine.
just since you said Vita Machine, you guys hear the rumors about the NX, the Nintendo Game console?
Yeah.
that they're going to be combining the handheld and console divisions to get basically a handheld that you can plug into your TV and everything, and it will up-res it and all this cool stuff.
Yep, PSTV worked out great for Sony. I don't know why people are saying it's stupid.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic because I don't know anyone that has that.
That was me being sarcastic. They discontinued it. Yeah, that was me being sarcastic.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
if
just-
Nintendo were to combine its handheld and console divisions, you'd get a lot more games, and just looking at the specs of what it's supposed to be, still good quality graphics and everything.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo has more of a foothold in handheld than it does in home consoles nowadays. Home consoles, they have been just literally letting everyone pass them by constantly. But with handhelds, they've always been ahead of the game. Always.
Well,
Every
the Wii
generation they've been on top.
The Wii U is just a failure. The Wii was actually a big success. But
Goddamn Game Boy, I love you.
The Wii was a big success not because of video games.
Yeah, that's not why it was a big thing.
yeah, but I'm just saying, that they did have a good foothold in the console market for a little while.
They really didn't.
I'm going to disagree with you.
They got
that,
lucky
but,
and hit a fad gimmick. That's literally what they did. Hell, they would probably cop to that and say, yeah, we didn't really create a great gaming console. We just played to the masses and everyone wanted one but didn't actually use it.
That's unfortunately what happened with my Wii. It most of the time it was just sitting on the shelf, not being played.
Yeah.
I know that's what happened to my family's Wii. I never touched the damn thing. They did for a little while, and then they stopped. My dad has like 20 games for it, and I know he played like 5 of them at most.
Yeah. My mum bought one and played Wii Fit for like a couple months, and then that was it.
The most they played was Wii Sports. Like, that was all they did.
I had a lot of fun games on the Wii that I enjoyed.
Yeah, but you're kind of an outlier and a Nintendo fanboy. We have established this.
It's true.
Shut up. But yeah, if the NX thing ends up being true, you could see some great success because the problem with the Wii U was you didn't have a lot of good starting games for that. Just it came off to a poor launch, poor marketing, poor title, everything. If you combine it, you just call it the NX. You get more games because you can get games made by both divisions for just one console.
Yeah.
And
I think it'll see success because it's the next handheld from Nintendo.
It's
And then
basically
the
the
fact that
big-
you can
yeah.
play it on a TV with probably up-res graphics is just a bonus. Like, congratulations everyone, we finally got a console Pokemon game, probably,
yeah.
is what's going to happen.
I love you, Game
They
Boy.
announced there's going to be a Pokemon game for NX already next year. But hey, Nintendo is not going to win if they try to compete with the hardware of, the PlayStation Neo and the Scorpio that Xbox is doing. They might as well just go
That's
their
the
own
thing.
way.
I feel like they could, but they just don't try.
I don't think they could. I don't think because Microsoft and Sony are big on hardware as well. Nintendo's just games.
Yeah, but that's
They
the
could,
thing.
but
they have
it
the
would be a
games
lot
that can
more
sell
expensive for
consoles,
them.
but it would. But the thing is, because they don't have the hardware, no one wants to develop for their platforms. If they had the hardware to get, let's say, it doesn't even have to be parity. It just has to be somewhat close, so that they are the low level of what people will develop for and optimize for. But so it's still in the same ballpark. That way, they still get the games from third parties. They have the games from their own first-party development, which are all console sellers. So they would be, by default, a good competitor in that market. I don't see why they don't just do that. though in fairness, like I say, the NX will be a success because it's the next Nintendo handheld. That's... yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo
it's not a bad move for them, I
suppose. By choosing to not compete in the console market like everybody else is and going their own direction, like everybody's gonna own like an NX or handheld thing. Because that's gonna be the de facto thing.
That was the case for the Wii, and they thought it was going to be the case for the Wii U.
Well, the 3DS was immensely popular because it's handheld and it crushed the Vita.
Again,
despite being weaker.
Nintendo have always dominated in handhelds.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna have it's gonna crush it. Especially, I don't think there's any Vita 2 that's coming around either. So it's gonna have like no competition up in mobile phones, and they're already putting games out on mobile.
It's gonna have no competition except for mobile phones.
Yeah.
Think that through.
The mobile market, yeah. Because casual gamers tend to go for mobile games to go on. They play the games on their phone.
Yeah.
And I said, they're already going to have games coming out on that. They already have Pokemon Go.
All right, if you say so. We'll see how that turns out. I did have another lowest moment that I was going to mention, but I think we're actually close to being out of time.
Oh, I want to hear it. What the fuck?
Well, it's on the channel. It's the fucking Ruin Sentinels from Dark Souls 2. Technically, it's Slicer giving me a lowest moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
Slicer just basically running through it in 30 seconds. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then doing the big fuck you jester bath.
There's a reason why I put that in the intros for our things.
Yep.
Beating the Sentinels and then having Slicer right after that doing the what pose.
Yeah. I couldn't not do it, okay?
I forget there was a milestone that I did that Slicer didn't, and I forget what it was. But I
It
know
was
still exists.
Manus. From the first game, it's Manus. I don't think
there
I've
was,
ever beat
there was
him
the
in-
Manus thing, but there was something else, and I forget what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember. I still haven't beat him in regular game. I mean, I beat him in New Game Plus, but yeah.
Oh, I have to fight that thing again, don't I? Shit.
Yeah, you do. You're gonna have to do a lot of off-screen grinding, probably,
Yeah.
or get real good.
I'm already good enough to beat him once. Anyway,
So,
recommendations. Let's wrap this up.
this week I got nothing. I think I reached the ultimate with last week's recommendation.
Give Harem Protagonist a try. If you're even remotely interested in that genre, it's really good.
Yeah. Either give it a try or watch the TFS thing that actually does a decent job of selling it, surprisingly, even though they're constantly taking the piss out of it. I mean, that's kind of the reason the game exists, so it fits.
That is kind of the point, yes.
Okay, I'm just looking through my list because I know I do have some things that could be recommended. I just have to find them.
Well, aren't you lucky?
I mean, if there's one thing I could recommend, well, Casey's looking. I'm not sure if I already recommended this, but it's the story. It has a really bland name, but the plot is just like the characters are very different. It's called Dungeon Defense, and it's a light novel, web novel type thing. But it has a very different sort of like the title doesn't fit the actual story in a way. Basically, main character is pretty screwed up in the head from his dad. Basically, imagine his dad was a harem protagonist of sorts, and he had multiple wives and children, and the wives all fought each other, and it was a terrible environment to grow up in. And this main character grew up in that, and he just hates the idea of love. He hates his dad. He just like he's just grew up with a twisted personality because of all this, and he ends up becoming, through otherworld transfer BS, the rank 71st demon lord of this other world, and he's the weakest one, basically. And he ends up with the skills of, like, he's really good at diplomacy and acting, and that's how he works his way through this, and basically turning people into pawns and doing big manipulation schemes. And it's very satisfying just to see where he goes, and he is just one of the most twisted main characters I've come across, just in his personality. And essentially the world's going to be destroyed when the hero comes in like 10 years and starts killing all the demon lords, because it's going to throw the world off balance and everyone's going to die. So you better just stop that hero if you get the chance once he comes around. So I'm going to recommend that. It's a very interesting read. The second volume is him telling a story to somebody else, and I feel like parts of it are fake because he's trying to manipulate somebody else, and I love that. So I'll drop the translation link in the chat if you guys want. I think it's like Korean, but it doesn't come off like that at all. It comes off, very not like that.
There have been some manga and manhwa and whatever I've read that are very Korean, like. Yeah. So that's nice.
Yeah, I felt like it came off because of all the alternate names in the other world and everything. It comes off more regular, American-ish.
Okay. My recommendation is The House of Potter Rebuilt. It sounds like a Harry Potter horror fic. It is not. So basically what the story is, written by a disobedience writer, it is 65,000 words, 3 chapters, so long chapters. It is basically an alternate version of Harry Potter where he is basically more normal. He doesn't go on stupid, wacky adventures at the behest of a creepy old dude. And just kind of goes through being a student and learning stuff and magic and getting stronger because he realized, oh shit, Voldemort's still kind of alive. That's kind of a problem. I should probably prepare for that, and does. But in normal student-y kind of ways. And all the characters are more sensible. I'll say it that way. Funny thing, I'm gonna drop this mild spoiler right at the beginning. Dumbledore dies at the end of the first year.
Huh.
Yeah, he dies stopping, or trying to stop Quirrellmort from stealing the Philosopher's Stone. Fails. Quirrellmort is trying to escape and runs into Harry, tries to kill him with, what else, the Killing Curse, and it bounces back and fucking kills him instead.
Why does he keep trying that?
Why does he keep doing that in canon? It's the question of the fucking ages. So yeah, Dumbledore's dead by the end of the first year and is replaced by Nicholas Flamel.
Rubber, your glue, whatever you say, bounces off of me and sticks to you.
Yeah, okay.
Or murders you, as the case was, but yes.
Yeah, so Dumbledore dies, and because it's Hogwarts and ghosts are a thing and fucking magic, he comes back as a ghost. And for the rest story so far, he has been basically constantly pestering Harry to go along with his weird, inane schemes, but not quite realizing that he's dead and his manipulations are failing spectacularly. Like he'll say,
that actually has. That makes sense. He's dead. He's not like a learning human being. He can't learn.
He's Dumble dead.
Yes.
Yeah, so
The
the
fuck
whole
you
time
can't
he's
just
like,
fuck-
"Oh, Harry, you should take divination as your elective. It will help you in the future, I'm sure, for reasons that I will get into when you're old enough to understand." And Harry's like, at the end of his third year, he's already chosen his electives and everything. It's all happened a year before. Yeah. So
That's amazing.
yeah, so that was a fun read. Like, it's... You see so many stories that are like, oh, wizards are so fucking stupid and they have no common sense and everything. It's nice to see a story that just, okay, give them common sense then. See how it plays out. I mean, Methods of Rationality was kind of like that, but it made them hyper-competent instead. And
It pushed it too far.
Yeah, that's a different thing. This is just basic common sense. Everyone acts like a normal person probably would. And it makes for a fun story regardless. So, check that one out. It's published in May and last updated halfway through June. So I'm not sure whether it's abandoned, but even so, it's still worth reading in my opinion. So,
Considering the size of the chapters, it might just be one that really slowly updates. So you never know.
yeah. Might have just had the first couple done and then, yeah, you know how it goes. Yeah. So, anyone else got any recommendations, or is that it?
I've only read a few things, and none of them have been particularly good. So no,
I
unfortunately
still
not.
have a book that I haven't torn into yet.
Yeah, I haven't found anything wreckable.
Oh, I did actually look through the My Hero Academia section, and you'll be happy to know it has finally joined the ranks of all the stupid shonen shows that have their overpowered protagonist and harem stories. So,
Yeah!
Great.
yay.
Hooray!
Oddly enough, they're all like Deku is Spider-Man for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why that's the thing people have latched onto, but that's all of them.
Why?
As opposed to his existing abilities, or instead of?
In both.
Ah,
Wait. So people will basically, because he's like a more normal person who gets powers, they equate that to Spider-Man in their minds. So let's just give him Spider-Man powers because he's basically the Spider-Man of that world.
Kind of. I mean, everyone's gone for basically the same setup of the villains are trying to make a Nomu, and, in the process of doing so, they accidentally make a spider that can give superpowers. Yeah.
Whoops.
It's very strange that they are all so similar, but,
Give me a story with Bakugo as the main character just cursing about everything.
that exists
I would
as
do
well,
that.
I think.
Okay, good.
Is it good?
I don't know, I didn't
Passable.
read it, so...
When you meet
Actually,
Bakugo's
I think
family, it's the greatest.
I think it might be... I think it might be a Peggy Sue story about him going back in time. I think. I can't quite remember. I know I saw it, and it made very explicit mention of the fact that EA is going to be swearing all the time.
Where did he go back in time from?
I don't know.
We've not had any significant time skips or anything.
I don't know.
That's silly.
I don't actually... Have they had any significant events going on in My Hero Academia? Like I say, I don't read the manga
Well,
anymore because I'm waiting for the anime.
Some very important stuff happened to All Might, and right now they're about to get they're about to go through the test for their provisional hero licenses so they can go out and do stuff
Oh,
legally.
cool.
Yeah, All Might just went through a whole arc where lots of important plot-heavy stuff happened.
I'm assuming he's dying, but don't tell me and confirm because that's spoilers.
I won't say anything.
Yeah. Come on, more anime, for fuck's sake, I want more. Okay, so I guess we're pretty much done for the episode. I would like to thank everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 142. If you would like to get in touch with us, you can do so through the YouTube channel through the comments, or our own personal profiles on fanfiction.net, I suppose. Not that I answer as much as I should. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Doesn't matter how much, however much you feel okay with donating. It's a once a month thing, and you can remove it whenever you feel like if you want to stop. Once again,
$1, $100, who knows?
$100 would be cool. That'd be nice.
Deku also invented us. Everybody else in the class also invented signature moves. It's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is Ochako calling herself Infinity Girl yet? Because that really should have been a fucking name.
No.
No one's even using their actual like superhero names yet at all.
They just picked them.
Yeah, and they were stupid. Like, kind of all of them were stupid.
Assume once they get all their licenses.
Hmm.
Like, once they get their licenses, they're going to probably go by their superhero names instead.
Yeah. What were we doing? Oh, yeah, the outro. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 142. Bye now.
I unsuccessfully stalled and stopped the conversation multiple times.
Pokemon's still shit.